Y'all saw the title, Beelzebub Beyoncé. Let me tell you, I know I am on an island by myself, okay? I get it. Because I know a lot of you deify Beyonce. You have turned her into the demigod. Um, Look, there is something happening, and I don't know if people are just, they have the wool, what is it, what is it, wool pull over your eyes, whatever that saying is. But listen, you know, now granted, people tend to come for stars, right? But there's something to be said when you start to see chinks in the armor. And I'm not saying it's God, but truth comes to light. There's so much now that's being said, even this so-called tax bill, which is probably a drop in the bucket for Beyonce, but suddenly you start to see, like, you know, whether or not it means that she is in whether or not she's capable of paying that tax bill or not is not relevant. You see that there are stars or acts that were under her label, and I don't remember the names of these women, but if you notice that their whole thing never came to fruition, their potential. You see the Chloe Bailey situation, why Chloe Bailey isn't doing well, and she has name recognition. I do believe that, this is just my opinions, I do believe that Beyonce may have even sabotaged her, because you got to understand, Beyonce has allowed herself to be elevated to a demigod status. There's a reason why they have the Church of Beyonce. You think she's tried to shut that down? Of course not. She's enjoying every bit of that attention. And if they would just take the chance and listen to some of the lyrics of her stuff, listen to what she's saying, and you need to be able to discern. I think much of what's going on is she's allowing herself to be exalted. So the reason why at least, so Halle Bailey has name recognition and still didn't do well on her album, right? Well, much of it is centered in disgustingness, like, and I haven't heard the whole thing, I've only heard like blips and like just some of the lyrics of what people have been saying, but I'm looking at the imagery and the things that she's doing, so it's not the glorification of God in any way, shape, or form. um but Beyonce, she can't have too many people taken away from her attention. Come on now. She is actively performing. She is an active artist. So there's no way she's going to go promote somebody else over her own best interest. Think about all the things now. Let me tell you something. I'm not saying this is God, but God has a way of exposing things. God has a way of putting chinks in, or allowing chinks in, appear in the armor. God has a way of allowing pedestals to be toppled over. Just go look in the Bible. Look, the things that she's touching right now, she has failed. She's failed at promoting her artists. She's even failing at making sure that her money is being managed properly, whether it was good or not. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that tax situation, and I'm pretty sure she knows she can pay that 2 point something million tax bill. But she has a failed clothing line. She, like I said, she's got a failed clothing line. She's got failed artists. She's got her relationship is sus at best. Okay, look at the relationships around her. Look at what's happening. And what I am saying is, while people are acting like lemmings, look, how can I say this? I did a video a while ago. I did a couple videos, and I said that she's more of a siren than a mermaid. Now, those are fictitious characters based off of Greek mythology, right? But where I was going with that was, the siren was like the demon, right? The siren was the antithesis to the mermaid. And sirens were people who would sing, and their voices were so melodic, and they would lead soldiers and navy men or whatever, and to crash their vessels. And I want you guys to listen to what she's doing. She's publicly taking your money. But people are like, you don't know what she does in private. I'm like, why does she have to do it in private? Because she can publicly take your money. Look at what she's doing. She doesn't care about people in the community. She doesn't. And so people get caught up in thinking, because she had a couple of pretty pictures or visuals, and she said a couple of nice things, brown skin girl, I like the song, but black is king, I didn't see that, because I thought it was kind of almost insulting to the African, I would say, overall African nation. And yes, I know Africa is made up of 50 something countries of different types of people. But what I'm saying is, she, there's so much I can say. Let me just not digress. Listen, I just think that there's oftentimes things get brought to light, and I'm calling a thing a thing. If you look at her music, she is a siren, not a mermaid. Listen to the things that she says in her music. But see, people don't get it. Like the sirens, their voices were beautiful, and everything surrounding in their music was so beautiful. People couldn't see that they were being led to the destruction. Look it up. Sirens versus mermaids. So what happens is people are lacking the ability to discern the silliness. Let me tell you something. Everything surrounding Beyonce, this kingdom she's built up, the way that people worship her. They have a church of Beyonce. You think she's come out and condemned that? Absolutely not. And I think what happened was she left. She sold her soul to the devil. And now that she has reached the pinnacles of success in her career, you know how many people reach the pinnacle success in their career in Hollywood, and you find out later on in life they were battling all kinds of demons and such. Let me say this. I heard something again today which was interesting because I know my 11-year-old son made a comment a few weeks ago about a young lady, and he said, Mom, I think the reason why this person is depressed is because they don't have God in their life. And let me tell you something. Beyonce is moving further away from God. And then look, these people who are out here, whether it's Tasha Scott or whatever her name is from the Escape group, all these people are saying things like, oh, I want to sing gospel music, but then proclaim to be in an open marriage. And none of us are perfect. Let me just make this clear. I fall short every day. If you knew how trifling I was on certain things, you'd be like, stop talking. But look, you can't sit here and publicly profess all these things, and then you're publicly professing all these things, right? I'm telling you, for someone who claims to love God so much, but she's in the mood to F something up and all this other stuff. And that's why I say it's like a siren, because the track is hot. Her voice is, I feel like falling in love. I mean, like, it's hot, right? I'm like, yeah, me too. And then she's like, I'm in the mood to F something up. I'm like, well, you know, so she's a siren. And she's leading all these women out here thinking that they can do all these things and be all super sexual. And I'm like, the last time I checked, this woman was married. So she can actually do all those things with her husband if she wants to. And you got chicks out here thinking that they can be Beyonce. I'm just saying, this woman is like a living Beelzebub. The chick is chicken. I mean, I'm like, I just wish that people would just catch that. The people are just not getting it. They're not discerning anything. And everything that she's touching now is starting to fail. Like her clothing line failed. It failed. She's failing at even just managing her money. Now this happens all the time with celebrities because they just have so much, but she can't manage her money. And it's only 2 plus something million in taxes for her. That's a mere pittance. But she's also failed at promoting her artists. Failed, failed, failed. She has a relationship that does not appear to have any sort of real foundation, right? I think it's borderline failing relationship. But people are elevating her to demigod. She's beautiful, and she has a voice that is soothing and all kinds of things. She has, everything around her. But people are falling for it. But anyway, these are just my both thoughts. You guys can do what you want. Do what you want. I'm just saying you better start discerning, and you better start thinking about what do you see surrounding her, leading our people down this path of craziness. And let me tell you what was so crazy. She's thanking the LGBT community or paying homage to them. And I'm like, let me tell you something. For somebody who believes in Christ, let me tell you something. We are all God's people, but we don't pay homage to people who are living outside of what God wants for us. I want to make this clear. The LGBT, I'm like, these are people. You still love the people, like love the person, not the sin. Or what? How does it say it? You understand my point. With the community, what you don't do is pay homage to it. Do you understand what I mean? You don't pay homage to the community, because then what you're saying is I'm okay with it, right? So like, look, if I were in proximity to somebody, or at least knowingly in proximity to somebody who's in the community, it's not my job to hate them or anything like that. I'm still gonna treat them with a respect and love and everything like that. But what I don't do is co-sign the behavior. You see what I'm saying? And so if you publicly say something like that, they'll say you're a homophobe. You have to be willing to take that body blow. It doesn't mean you're a homophobe. It's just saying, no, I don't agree with that lifestyle. It's not for me. You can do whatever you want. That lifestyle is not for me. And I'm not going to go make a songs paying homage or make an album paying homage to that. People aren't going to like what I have to say. And let me tell you something. I want to make this clear since, whoever's listening to this. This channel will probably never be big. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because I am not talking about the things that people want me to parrot. I want to make this clear. I'm going to talk about the things I want to talk about, stand in what I stand in. And that's what it's going to be. And I'm okay with it. So I just want to make it clear. I'm not going to be that person who wants to go in and tear down Black women as a whole or tear down Black men as a whole. There is a market for that. I am not going to be that person who's going to report on hot topics every day. Why? Because I think I have some sort of inner ADD going on. So I'm not even that interested. I'm going to be honest. Maybe that'll change, but I know today it's not for me. There are certain things that I'm not going to do. And I'm telling you what happens is because I'm not willing to go there. I'm telling you that's not salacious enough, right? I'm telling you, if you report on those kinds of topics or whatever it is, those are very hot topics. Those are or salacious enough niches. That's going to get the views. I'm not here for that. I'm not. So if you think that's what I'm going to do, I'm not. And for those of you who are or feel some kind of way, unsubscribe. I don't care. I'm going to make this clear. Now, I'm going to get back to what I was saying about Beyonce. People need to start discerning. This chick is, I'm telling you, and Halle Bailey is already lost. And I hope somebody can go grab her. And Beyonce knows it. She didn't promote her. She can't have two divas because Halle is beautiful. That chick is gorgeous. But she is a dodo bird. She is a dodo bird. And the thing with her is hopefully somebody can grab her up and show her some love and say, come on back home. Like, we got to tone this down. You've got all this talent and you're not using it for good. That voice, that beautiful face, and she's wasting it chasing after these bad boys and licking lollipops and having tampon gate on. I gotta dig out that old video I did when I first started doing videos. Chloe Bailey and tampon gate. Anyway, I said what I said, so leave a comment.